Welcome back to the official Kraken YouTube channel. Today we're on video tutorial number 13 of the KV5TT kit build.
So today we're going to be building bag L. We're going to be here on page 41 in block 93, and we're going to be building the gas tank. So let's get started.
Here we are, block 93. Welcome in. Randy, what do we got?
Okay, let's start with the gas cap. We're going to be assembling the pieces. We're going to take this small plug and we're going to slide it in here. And then we're going to flip it around and grab like a needle nose pliers. And we'll pull from this side. So there's a notch here on this side that needs to set into this plastic. So it's not easy to push it in from this side, but it is a lot easier just to pull it from this side to get it to set. So we pulled it, we got it in there, set properly. Okay, now we take our bulb here, we slide it down on there so it sits flush. So get it all the way flush. Now we can take our top cap and we'll press this down in there, making sure that it seats all the way in. And that's it. All right, next we're gonna be installing the fuel lines. Basically what we did is the fuel lines will come at a certain length, but you may need to adjust them. So what you're looking for is you're looking for the fuel stone, when you slide this in here, to sit all the way at the bottom. You wanna sit here at the bottom of the lowest point down here. We've set ours already so that it fits nicely. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of our shock oil to give a little bit of lubrication so we can install the top rubber piece. We're just going to lube all the way around. This is going to help us press in this assembly. So now we're going to work our way around with our fingers. So you can use your fingers to press this all the way around, or if you want to, you can use something dull, a flat tool, and you can kind of help press the rubber into place to help it seat. Make sure that you don't press too hard and tear this rubber piece, but this might help. Let's get started on block 94.
What we're going to be doing in this block is we're going to be putting on the gas cap and then some rubber dampeners. So there are 5 holes on the gas container, but we're only going to be installing these dampeners on 3. This one right here next to where the gas cap is going to go, and then the 2 on the back right here. So to install these, you're going to want to give it a little pinch to make sure that it goes in. So there's our first one. We're going to move on to the second one. If you want, once it gets in here, you're probably going to notice that there would be maybe like 1 or 2 spots that need additional pressure. So what you can do is you can actually use a screwdriver or a hex wrench to get it in, but this one went in pretty easily, so we might not actually have to do that on here. So on this last one right here, I'm going to show you what that trick is with the hex wrench right here. So you can get it just a little bit of the way in, and then use the hex wrench for some leverage on pressing it into the hole. So I'm applying pressure with my thumb right here, and then as I press it in, just keep pressing with the thumb to make sure it doesn't come out, and then it should slide through the other end like so. And then the final step of this block is the gas cap, and we've already assembled it, so we can just screw it on to the top right here. Moving on to block 95.
Okay, now it's time to install the gas tank into the car. You want to pay close attention. We went ahead and removed the gas cap for installation, but how we're going to fit this thing in here is we're going to go at an angle. We're going to go slowly in, and then we're going to clear our fuel lines, and then we're going to spin it. All the way around, and then we'll get our front mounted first. We'll slide that down. And then the rear. Okay, so we're gonna keep the gas cap off at this point so that we can access our screw location back here. Once we get all 3 screws in, we'll go ahead and reinstall this.
On this step, we're going to be screwing in the mounted gas tank. Hardware-wise, we're using Hardware wise, we're gonna be using metal washers, 3 of them, and then these 3 screws. So we're gonna slide the washer onto the screw like this, and then just screw it in to where the gas tank is being mounted. We wanna make sure to hold the washer in place as we get our screwdriver this, and we wanna make sure that we're not over tightening it. We just want the washer to be barely pinched against the rubber washer. And then repeat that the other 2 times. And then we can put the finishing touch and screw on the gas cap afterwards, since we're done mounting, and that should be the end of that block. So here we are on block 97. Randy's gonna be installing the fuel lines from the gas tank here into the carburetor. So first he's gonna start with the black line, which is the gas fuel in line. And then he's gonna move on to the yellow fuel line, which is the return line. And that's the end of block 97. Moving on into block 98. Here's the hardware for the day. And then we also have 2 screws that we've primed and blue Loctited.
Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to take your mounting flap and you're going to be inserting the cage support pin in between the cage and the flap.
So we're on the front end of the roll cage right here. We've got the flap, we've got the rod that we're going to slide through here. There is no right way to put the flap on. It's equally made on both sides. And we just want to make sure that everything lines up into this little channel here. You can actually see the rod go through, and it'll be good and flush on both sides, and you can see it through. And then we're going to go ahead and screw in the screws to keep it into place.
Okay, so here don't forget to prime and blue thread lock the screw before installing.
And we're keeping this T-wrench in as we go in through the other side because we want to get the right amount of torque and make sure that it's just not spinning. And once it gets tight and starts spinning the other T-wrench, we're going to go ahead and apply the same amount of force on both ends, and that's good.
So we got the roll cage sorted.
Jumping into block 99, we've got our body panel here. This is what it should look like right out of the box. It's got a clear protective film on it.
So at this step, you can either paint the body panel or you can add livery. And in this case, if you want to paint it, what you want to do is you want to flip it over. We're going to clean the panel, the inside of the panel, with soap and water, and then we're going to rinse it and allow it to dry. We're going to leave the protective overspray film on. So when you paint it, and then once you're finished painting, you'll just peel it off and you'll have a clear, perfect body panel. But if you do want to put the livery on, you're going to peel this off first and you're going to wash both sides with the soap and water and allow it to dry. That's with all the panels, front, middle, and the fender sections.
So this right here is a custom painted trophy truck body. This is showing basically what you can do if you wanted to customize it yourself.
So we want to say special thanks to our friend Otaka for hand painting this one-off Bryce Menzies body for us. It's all hand painted from the inside out, stencils, and it's just a masterpiece. It's done flawlessly, and this is really what you can do with the trophy truck body at the highest level. Okay, now we're starting in block 100. In block 100, we're going to be applying our livery stickers to our panels, and basically Nate's going to show you how that's done.
So when you first break out the livery, you're going to notice that it has numbers according to what section of the body panel it's going to go on. So in any case, you're going to look at this right here, which is the side panel, and you see how the lowest number on this page of livery is 44. Now on 44, you're going to apply it according to the manual, and the manual has everything laid out in the order that you're supposed to be applying it. So 44 would go right here, and you make sure that it's completely clean, there's no air bubbles underneath, and then you can move on to 45, which is this section right here. So there is a certain order that you're going to be putting it together, and just follow the manual on that order right there.
Okay, so how you're going to be applying these is you're going to peel back the overspray film, and then you're going to spray the back side of the sticker with You can get a spray bottle with like a small drop of dish soap in it and the rest water, and then you spray the back of it, or you can use Windex. And what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to position the sticker onto the panel and then move it around if you need to. So if you make any mistakes or get any wrinkles, you can actually peel it back and it won't mess with the adhesive. So basically, once you're done with that, you allow it to dry and you just follow the puzzle.
All right, getting into block 101. For the hardware, we've got 2 longer screws and 4 shorter screws. The 4 are going to go onto the top of this plate as we mounted right here, and the 2 are going to go on the side. There are mounting holes that you're going to make sure to screw everything into, and then we should be good there. Now we can move on to block 102. We're going to do the side panel here. We're going to make sure that we are again mounting it to the posts of the roll cage, and then we should be good. These metal roll cage inserts are going to go in here, and they're going to slide evenly. We want to make sure that they're going in flush, and then that's good there. So here for the mounting process, Randy's already slid the nylon washers on, and he's only going to be mounting the body to the rear posts. The reason we're doing that is because we want the center to be open for when we mount the center body. And that's good for block 102. We'll move on to the other side now.
Block 103, we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side, and it's going to get started on the back screws. Here we are in block 104, where Nate's going to be installing the pull tab onto the R-pin.
So for here, the R-pin has some ridges here. You want to make sure that the pull tab goes on, but then you also pull up on the ridges so that you can slide the pull tab inside. And that's the pull tab installed. We can move on to the next step. So jumping into block 105, you're going to be mounting the roll cage onto the roll cage mounts of the car.
Go ahead and lay the roll cage on top of the car. I'm going to go all the way back where the mounting holes line up here. And then the front, if you could go ahead and put the tab in the front. Okay, so take your roll cage and mount it onto your chassis. Make sure that you get over the front bumper first. So then you want to fold your flap over the mounting knobs in the front, which is down here, just to hold it in place. And then to secure the back, I'm going to install from the inside. Give it a little tight. So now we're secure both front and both rear. Now we can work our way down to the middle section. We'll be using our longer screws here. And now we'll move on to the other side.
So in block 106, Randy's going to be installing the roll cage onto the roll cage mount of the car, the same as he did on the other side. And then for the second half of that step, we're going to be installing the R-pin onto the flap underneath the front hood. So this is kind of hard to show on camera, but refer to the manual when you're looking for placement. You're basically looking to slide it through the holes that are blocking the flap from coming up. And then you give it a nice push, and that should go in smoothly. In block 107, we're going to be laying on the center portion of our body.
Okay, Nate, so go ahead and lay the cab section onto the roll cage. Now what I want you to do is pay special attention to the clear sections of the body right here. If you try and mount it with the clear sections over top, that's the wrong way. What you want to do is you want to get clear sections to go under the front hood, like so. And that's the correct way to do it. Now we're going to be using 2 different size screws here. We got the smaller screws, which go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we've got the longer screws, which mount on each corner. So let's go ahead and start with the top.
Now Randy's working on the front side right here. He's going to be using the longer screws to screw this in.
Okay, so the cab section and then the front fender section, you want the cab section on the outside, and then you put the screws through that one first, and then the front fender section. So we're going to be doing the same thing on the back. The rear fender goes under the cab section, and then you just need to align the holes. So now Nate's just going to be doing the exact same thing on the other side. So that's the end of bag L. We've completed installing the body panels, the livery, and the next section we're going to be doing the wheels.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stick around for our next tutorial where we finish up the wheels, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of our next video.